Hey, is this working? Hello? Oh, my headphones turned off. Of course, it's not turned off, it's just very low. Is the microphone skipping? Oh, my personal is stuttering. What is going on? Let me read a poem. Let me read a poem just to check. Poem, little poem by Mr. Robert W. Chambers. Along the shore the cloud waves break, the twin suns sink beneath the lake, the shadows lengthen in Carcosa. Strange is the night where black stars rise, and the strange moons circle through the skies, but strange still is lost Carcosa. Songs that the Hyades shall sing, what flap the towers of the king must die unheard in dim Carcosa. Song of my soul, my voice is dead, die thou unsung, and tears unshed shall dry and die in lost Carcosa. Okay, that's enough for some check. That was the King in Yellow. Hope whoever watched this really enjoyed it. Today I am 10 minutes earlier than I usually am. Usually I start at 10:30. Today I start at 10:20. I'm doing that because I don't know. I'm bored. I got rid of the pack of dogs. I make sure that they're not coming back. I got rid of them. It sounds like I just went outside and did something horrible. I didn't. I found one of my neighbors that owns one of the dogs, and I decided to complain to them. And I like to think that they heard me because I only have 2 dogs outside. One of the smallest, quietest ones, they're not gonna be barking, and they already left. Also, I took out the stray dogs. Like my streets, they have like this whole thing of leaving food and water for the stray dogs. Just for today, I discussed it would be okay with my mom, of course, with the family, if I could remove all water and dog food. I just say yeah, it's okay. I just gonna put it back before I go to bed. I'm like, I'm sure. I think today is gonna be a shorter stream. So until then, I gotta have a quiet, focused stream where I'm gonna be able to play Project Edensgarden. So let me do a little recap while the game loads. On the last stream of Project Edensgarden, not a lot happened. Like, it's just a prologue. It is just like the premise, the character introduction, how things are gonna work, more or less. So far, it's kind of traditional. It's somewhat traditional. The game is on a very I'm playing with my keys. The game is on a very similar system to Danganronpa 3. Let me get my keys out of here. I'm gonna keep playing with them. A very similar system to Danganronpa 3, V3, Danganronpa V3. And, well, it's gonna be obvious when I open the game. Also, what else? When I first played, like 2 days ago, 2 days from the stream time, I played the low specs because I thought the main release of the game, like the way the devs wanted to play it, I thought it loaded a little bit too slow. However, whenever I'm playing the low specs, on some cutscenes, the game stutters, the game lags, the game doesn't play as well. So today, before the stream, I made a little test. Cell phone. Why am I getting a message? Oh, it's my dad. He sent me a gremlin. Thank you for the gremlin, Dad. I love you. In any case, I lost my focus. Yeah, whenever the game loads up a cutscene, whenever the game loads up something that is outside of the usual novel thing, or just talking to people moving around, the game lags, the game goes a little bit slower. I don't know if it is my computer. It shouldn't be, because the game isn't that heavy. Whoa, it's very boomy. I'm already opening the game. But yeah, today I'm gonna be playing the original because I checked on the original while playing the game, and yes, the loading time on some parts are a little bit long. But where on the low specs it stutters and it lags, on the normal one it doesn't. It goes exactly as it should be. Which means that I should have played the original from the beginning and just endured the slower loading. Yeah, my bad. Today we're gonna play the original, so there is not going to be any oddness with the game engine. Let me press the button. Let me go to the game screen. Then I'm gonna silence over here, and I'm gonna, how about this? Right now the volume is okay. So I checked. Go back. No, it's fine. What? Can I do the settings? Oh, there we go. Also, this is cool. If you play the low specs and you go to the normal game, or the other way around, the game keeps your save. And I guess there's settings as well. That's cool. Do I have something extra playing audio somewhere? I don't, right? Feels like I have something. And yes, I'm still in the punishment corner. I put myself in the very corner just to make sure that I'm not on top of anything. I think everything's okay. So on the last string, I stopped. Go back to OBS. I stopped right on the beginning of the class trial. So a little bit of a more specific recap. We play as... I'm a very bad person with names. I'm gonna refer them as the characters either as their little animal motif, each character has an animal motif, or their talents. I'm probably gonna refer to them as their talents. In any case, the main character, that being us, is the ultimate debater. We are introduced, invited to this academy, Edensgarden. We go on a train. On the train there is every other ultimate. There is a gas. We are knocked out and we are put in a school. We go around introducing ourselves to everyone. The first one we meet, and I believe it's gonna be the... It is kinda laggy. Is it? Maybe it's... No, it is kinda laggy. It still is kinda laggy. How much is this game sucking on my computer? But let me continue. If the game starts going overly low, I may just close up Opera, just to make sure that it runs a little bit smoother. But yeah, we introduce ourselves to everyone, and we have a first little issue where the game is occupying 52% of my CPU, really. Okay, I'm closing on Opera. Goodbye, Opera, I'm gonna miss you. No, it's occupying more. Why is the game so heavy? Should I close in something else? Well, I'm not using Discord or Steam, even though none of these things are occupying anything. Is the game more stable though? I like to think it is. Okay, this game is super heavy for some reason. Or is my CPU that's just bad? We introduce everyone, and then the main antagonists, I guess, the masterminds, introduce ourselves. We don't have a Monokuma yet, so just have a voice in the intercom. I don't know if we're gonna have a Monokuma. He tells us to investigate. Like, he tells us not to investigate, he tells us to go back to the main room. To the main building. When we get there, we see a body on the floor. One of the main female characters, the one that is pretty much following us through the whole prologue. She's the ultimate liar. Her name is Eva. Eva, the ultimate liar. She approaches the body, tells that the body is a dummy. It is not a real body. The guy in the intercom confirms that is a dummy. It's a recreation of a previous events that happened in Hopespeak. That happens on school. And he asked us to investigate it. So we're doing it, and now we're doing a class trial over a previous case. I really don't know what's going to happen. Because I don't know. Anything can happen. And I almost dropped my cup of my mug. Let's begin. Mouse. Also, there's voice acting, so I'm not gonna be talking a lot. Be glad for voice acting. And that is the loading time. Alright.
Let's begin with a brief explanation of the class trial.
As usual.
The objective here is simple. Explain how the murder took place. Using evidence you've gathered during the investigation, you will argue what you believe happened to the victim. Should you all agree on the right answer, you will be free to leave this place. Should you all agree on the wrong answer, well, you'll find out.
Sorry, moving the microphone.
That's all there is to it. Have fun, everybody.
Somebody, get me out of here.
Should I make a short presentation as the character starts talking? Sure. Grace Madison is the ultimate golfer. Wolfgang Akiri is the ultimate lawyer. He has a sheep on his suit.
If this is something we must discuss, I know a good place to start.
Get me out of here, 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 get me out of here!
Oh, someone's stressed.
Somebody get me out of here!
Oh yeah, everyone is equipped with a watch. We can't remove the watch, or we get zapped. We can misbehave, or we get zapped. We must follow all the orders, or we get zapped. And apparently, if we start freaking out and derailing the situation for no reason, we get zapped. And forced to behave.
What happened to her?
Eloise Towner, a little swan, is the ultimate fencer.
Oh shit! They fried her brain!
Cassidy Amber, or spiders, she has spiderwebs on her fishnets, is the ultimate pro gamer.
Calm down, it's only a shock. She won't suffer any permanent side effects. If I wanted to see the brain dead bigger, I'd just turn on the telly.
True.
On that note, please, carry on.
Also, unlike Danganronpa, where it appears everyone is a mix between Japanese and American culture, here majority of people are from different places from Europe. I do believe there is some of them that are like American, but majority of them are from different places of Europe. Like Germany, Russia, stuff like that. This is us, Daimomatsu, the ultimate debater, or Mr. Snake Eye. Snakes. Oh yeah, holy shit, the people running this thing aren't playing around. 31 minutes, I can swear.
As you were saying, Wolfgang?
Ingrid Greenwall. She has a lie on her pocket, and she's also the ultimate blacksmith. And she's my favorite person.
Right. The way I see it, the objective of this trap.
By the way, can I get like a seat with this thing?
Okay, Monteago. Mr. Butterfly is the ultimate influencer. And he's the first one that I want to sit there. I don't like it.
I'm just gonna be an onlooker. It's only fair.
You're seriously not going to contribute?
What am I even supposed to do?
Put your detective hat on, buddy. We're here to solve a mystery.
Jet Dawson, or Wolf, is the ultimate drag racer.
Yeah, who murdered that dummy chick, right?
Not who murdered her, how they murdered her.
Did that tablet not explain it?
Toshiko Kayura, or I still don't know if it is a crane or if it is a flamingo. She has 2 flamingos on her yukata. She is the ultimate matchmaker.
It listed her wounds, yes, but it didn't explain how they were inflicted.
Probably because it's so obvious.
But, Miss Amber, you didn't even read the tablet.
And I don't have to.
Okay, you're just being rash. Why?
Would you look at that? A debate's already underway.
Jin Dilemma, or Dragons, for obvious reason, is not the ultimate pirate. He is the ultimate ship captain. Or the ultimate captain. He's a pirate. Oh, and she's still gone. Grace? Okay, Grace? These guys are clearly confused. I need to stop them before they arrive at their own conclusion. Oh gosh, do you hear that? That's the sound of a non-stop debate approaching. During non-stop debates, your classmates will speak one after another without interruption. Students may say things that contradict the truth, and it is your job to determine which statements must be broken in order to progress the trial. Don't move to the side. I do. Oh. F1 for truth bullets, F3 for controls, Q to circle the bullets, Shift to fast travel, Space to concentrate. I'm gonna have to make a spider with my hand and I dislike that. Oh, that's a lot easier. So just Shift and Space. For your ammo, you have been arms with truth bullets. You guarantee the investigation. Truth bullets are relevant to the debate, will be loaded in your truth cylinder. Use the mouse to aim a reticle and press the right key to fire. You want to aim for words highlighted in gold, those are the weak spots. A lie or contradiction may be hiding within a weak spot. Carefully compare the classmate statements to the evidence you gathered, and use the correct truth bullets to destroy the relevant weak spot. If things are flying by too fast, use spacebar to concentrate. This will temporarily slow down time. Speaking of time, be sure not to run out of it. That's an automatic game over. Not that someone of your caliber would ever fail. Anyway, press the F3 key to revisit these controls whenever you wish. That's all for now. Don't jump to many conclusions.
The mystery was never about who killed Kara, but how she died.
Is that true? Objection! It's obvious what the murder weapon was.
I didn't get a good look at the crime scene, but the body was pretty bloody.
And what could have spilt that blood? Besides that big, scary gun!
Ah, that's right. There was a gun.
You hear that, lawyer man? She agrees.
So the new one that just spoke is the ultimate cosmetician. I Forgot her name. And she's a chameleon. She has a chameleon bracelet. The loudest voice in the room aren't always the smartest. Fortunately, an uninformed argument is never difficult to shoot down.
The mystery was never about who killed Kara, but how she died.
Is that true? Objection! It's obvious what the murder weapon was.
I didn't get a good look at the crime scene, but the body was pretty bloody.
And what could have spilt that blood? Besides that big, scary guy.
Oh,
Ah, that's right. What does that even have to do with anything?
she's right. How could I mess this up? What? There wasn't a
The
gun.
mystery was never about who killed Kara, but how she died.
Is that true? Objection! It's obvious what the murder weapon was. Let me finish talking!
Alright.
The mystery was never about who killed Kara, but
Oh, time is
how
over.
she died.
Is that true?
Damn it, I missed my chance. If I can't get anyone to listen to me, this case will be never be solved. Oh. Can still turn this debate around.
The mystery was never about who killed Kara, but how she died.
Is that true? Objection! It's obvious what the murder weapon was.
I didn't get a good look at the crime scene, but the body was pretty bloody.
And what could have spilt that blood? Besides that big, scary guy.
No, that's wrong!
Cassidy, can you stop butting in? You barely investigated the crime scene to begin with.
Whoa, what? I searched that place from top to bottom.
No, you didn't.
Alright, then tell me, how was a fully loaded assault rifle used as the murder weapon?
Alright, right. I forgot about that detail. Can I... Truth bullets. Let me check the truth bullets I have. Tablets. The victim is Kara Koskinen, the ultimate teacher's AD. She was stabbed in the torso 28 times. The victim also suffered chemical burns to the head. The most notable burns are to her eyes and scalp. Cause of death is blood loss. Time of death is unknown. Bloody knife. A blood-soaked knife found at the scene of the crime. Assault rifle. There was a fully loaded assault rifle next to the victim's body. It was speckled with blood. Right, the rifle was fully loaded. A bucket. A bucket found lying on the slide in the janitor's... A bucket found lying on the side in the janitor's closet. The interior of the bucket reeked of bleach. Victim's hands. There was dried blood underneath the victim's nails. The rest of the hands were clean. And that's how we have. How was a fully loaded assault rifle used as a murder weapon?
That's easy. It wasn't.
Cassidy, you're not helping.
Obviously, the shooter reloaded their gun to full capacity. Any smart shooter could tell you that. Right, Desmond?
Why are you bringing me into this?
So Desmond is the ultimate... It's not... Is it sharpshooter? I think it is sharpshooter. He has a little tooth thing on his earring. I don't know if it is a wolf. That is already a wolf. It may be some other animal, maybe a shark or something. But that I have no idea.
Except, the victim suffered multiple stab wounds to the torso. If the gun was fired, not only should the body have had bullet wounds, but there would be shell casings from the fired bullets. We saw neither at the crime scene.
Details.
Details that matter.
If the gun didn't do that, chicken, what was the actual murder weapon?
The knife. There's a high chance it's the knife. It may be a lot of things, but you have a loaded gun with no casings and a knife. The actual murder weapon. That's obvious. What was the actual murder weapon? The door. Of course it was... No, it was the ladder. Yeah, they make a big scene about the ladder.
I got it.
The bloody knife. It's just so blatantly obvious. It was literally right next to the victim's body.
Why so Cam's razor gotta ruin everything?
Interesting. Both the knife and the rifle were present at the crime scene, but only the knife was used.
Ulysses, Wilhelm, or Falcon? I think it's a falcon. Or a pigeon. He's a bird. He's the ultimate historian.
Kind of weird choosing the inferior weapon.
Nothing beats the sting of a sharpened blade.
Oi.
If the killer didn't use the rifle, why was it at the crime scene?
Winona, just Winona. It's literally just Winona. Or Bears. He's the ultimate entrepreneur.
Maybe it came from inside the closet.
Don't see why you'd be storing a gun in a janitor's closet.
Man, I don't know. What if it's not even related to the murder?
Then why was it there?
Of course it's related. It's covered in blood.
Oh no. Everyone's starting to yell.
Diana Venezia. This debate is getting out of control fast. I need to say something.
To reiterate, both the rifle and the knife were next to the victim's body.
Yes.
Yet they opted for the knife. Odd choice.
I bet that gun didn't even work. These days, it's all about aesthetics over effectiveness.
That's like your opinion, lady.
If the gun was broken, then the killer would have no reason to bring it with them. And yet, they did.
Watch it be for the aesthetic.
It's easy to assume the killer was the one holding the gun, but considering the details of the victim's death, I'm inclined to think otherwise. Oh, it's the hands. Alright.
To reiterate, both the rifle and the knife were next to the victim's body.
Yet they opted for the knife. Odd choice.
I bet that gun didn't even work.
That's like your...
Broken.
Oh.
Would have no reason to bring it with them. And yet, they did.
Watch it for the aesthetic.
I missed it.
To reiterate, both the rifle and next to the victim.
For the odd choice.
I bet that gun didn't even work.
Oh, I
These
missed.
days, it's all about aesthetics over effectiveness.
That's like your...
If the gun was broken, then the...
No, I missed. Oh no, that wasn't
out
it.
Of it? That has nothing to do with anything.
Then why are you saying it?
To
Okay, it's the
reiterate,
aesthetics.
Both the rifle and the
There's a
knife
dog.
were next to the victim's body.
Yet they opted for the knife. Odd choice.
I bet that gun didn't even... These days, it's all about... Oh, you agree?
Wait, the evidence Damon presented doesn't...
To reiterate, both the rifle and the knife were next to the victim's body.
Yet they opted for the knife. Odd choice.
Didn't even... These days, it's all...
That's like your opinion, lady.
If the gun was broken, then they would have no reason to bring it with them. And yet...
Be for the aesthetic.
Okay, actually I don't get it. Maybe I should have decreased the difficulty. Considering the details of the victim's death, I'm inclined to think otherwise.
To reiterate,
So it is in the hands.
To reiterate, both the rifle and the knife were next to the victim's body.
Yet they opted for the knife. Odd choice.
I bet that gun didn't even work. These days, it's all about aesthetics over effectiveness.
Victim's Sky ultimate teacher, she was stabbed in the torso 28 times. I mean, kinda leads that she was holding the gun after it got dirtied.
That's like your opinion, lady.
If the gun was broken, then the killer would have no reason to bring it with them.
P for the aesthetic.
To reiterate,
Here's the
both the
tablet.
rifle and the knife were next to the victim's body.
They opted for the knife.
These days, it's
Broken. Then the
Oh,
killer
it is.
No, that's wrong!
The tablet on the killer. Look at pop.
Stop that thought right there. If we keep assuming the killer had the gun, we'll end up running in circles.
What? You think the killer was unarmed?
No, they were definitely armed. With the knife. The reason they didn't use a gun is probably because they never had it to begin with.
But then, who did?
Really, is that the logic? I mean, I'm not wrong in my logic. It's just, for the game's eyes, I'm wrong with the game's logic.
Easy. The victim.
What's wrong with your neck? What happened there?
Whoa, the dummy had the gun?
If it wasn't the killer, it has to be her. She must have brought it to the closet.
Let's move the microphone again.
She was probably carrying it before the murder, but dropped it when the killer attacked her.
Oh, I guess that makes some sense.
Complete sense.
I wouldn't be so sure about that. Aren't you overlooking something?
Huh?
The victim was stabbed from the front, meaning she could have seen the killer coming, correct? If so, why didn't she shoot them?
A stealth attack! I bet the killer memorized her AI movements.
Oh, shut up.
That girl must have been killed before she had the chance to defend herself.
There is still two who haven't talked.
That's not technically true.
Eh?
There's evidence of a struggle between the victim and the killer.
Specifically, evidence that shows the victim attempted to fight back. Is it the hands?
This is it. We found dry blood under the victim's fingernails, which implies she was clawing at her attacker. Of course, no explanation is definitive without photo proof of the killer, but I'm confident this is what happened.
Why would you resort to scratching when you're carrying a gun?
Did something get in the way of her using it?
Wonder if that killer stole it from her.
She should have seen or heard him coming from the hallway at the very least.
Why do you think she was in the hallway?
That's where the fight happened, right?
I think you're getting ahead of yourself. How can we be sure the fight happened there?
Maybe the fight started in the hallway, and after it ended, her body was dragged into the closet.
If that happened, shouldn't there have been streaks of blood on the floor or in the hallway?
There we go. Either Tsunaka or Crow is the ultimate liar. Liar. As in, the one who tells a lot of lies. Kind of like the actual talent of Mr. One called Kokichiyama. Except, instead of being subjective, is her actual talent. Also, she's a crow.
Drag marks? Can't say I saw any.
It was merely a jest. No need to take it so seriously.
You weren't even in a crime scene. You're the first one to escape.
Instead of dragging the victim, what if the killer carried her? I don't know why they would want to do that, but it would explain the lack of drag marks.
But then, wouldn't the killer have been covered in...
Blood. Aye. It should have gotten everywhere. Those wounds were brutal. A few inches deep, I reckon. Carrying her would have done nothing to stop the blood flow.
Good point.
There is a failure in this argument. As in, like, first of all, as far as I understand, we haven't done anything. Like, we haven't done the killing ourselves. So to assume that one of us carried the body, that the killer carried the body over there, well, we are already missing a very important clue. That is the killer itself, that doesn't exist. As far as I know.
She was obviously killed in the closet. That's where the blood was.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, you're right. I'm so sorry for derailing the conversation.
Moving on.
Moving on.
That fight. The victim had the gun, but she was overpowered?
If she wanted to, she could have just, you know.
It doesn't make much sense, does it?
There must be something we're missing. Something that explains how the victim was overpowered. And I know I'm the only one that can figure that out. Alright. We'll talk about the agree points. During the last non-stop debate, you would have noticed that some phrases were blue. Bet you weren't expecting that, huh? Those phrases are called agree points. They are the counterpart's weak points. As the name would suggest, if an agree point aligns with the evidence you gathered, you can use your truth bullets to prove it correct. Simply aim your reticle at it, as you would with a weak spot, and shoot. In your pursuit for the truth, you must be prepared to corroborate with the classmate testimonies. When it would be wise to do so, is for you to figure it out. Good luck. It is a
That
bucket.
slimy killer pulled a fast one and knocked the gun out of her hand.
No.
By the sounds of it, those two did have a crazy tussle.
But she still carried a gun. So why didn't she shoot?
I bet that girl didn't even see them.
Maybe
Oh,
she
I'm
thought the
pressed
killer
wrong
was her friend? I know I wouldn't hurt a friend.
She tried clawing their eyes out.
In case, Mark finally talked. Mark, the green dude with a hoodie, the hoodie that is in the form of an alligator, is the ultimate music producer. He's probably gonna be the one that talks the least. Everyone's got a theory, but who was the actual answer?
That slimy killer pulled a fast one and
By the sounds of it, dude did have a.
But she still carried a gun. So why didn't she shoot?
I bet that girl didn't even see.
What?
Appreciate the support, but you're not talking any sense, mate.
Now even the pirate is quoting me. What is he thinking? What the
that
hell?
slimy killer pulled a fast one and knocked the gun out of her hand.
Is it a tablet again? How many times
By
gonna
the
use the
sounds of
goddamn
it,
tablet?
those two did have a crazy tussle.
But she still carried a gun. So
My logic already
why
used the
didn't
tablets,
she
so
shoot?
that is like twice.
I bet that girl didn't even.
Ah,
I got it.
Alright. Great.
John actually has a point. The victim probably couldn't see what was going on. According to the tablet, she suffered chemical burns to the face and eyes. That sort of injury would have effectively blinded her. Also, inside the janitor's closet, there was a large empty bottle of bleach. That's probably the chemical that caused the burns.
Blinded? With bleach? That's horrible.
All that pain, yet she still managed to fight back?
She sure put up a struggle. Without a gun, I guess the next best thing was her hands.
So the killer was definitely the one who blinded her.
Was it?
Indeed. Knowing she had a gun, he blinded her to make her less dangerous. Then, when he pinned her against the door and stabbed her, she tried to retaliate.
Until eventually dying from her wounds.
Jeez, this is brutal. Couldn't they have toned down the violence?
The past is in the past, and we can't change that. All we can do is solve her untimely death, eh?
Eh?
I mean, by the sounds of it, we've already figured it out, right?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
Seriously?
But we've already discussed so much!
We just discussed how she died, so how things make sense. But that's still just speculation.
We know she was armed. We know she was blinded. We figured out how she died. How is this not a closed case?
Please understand, I'm proud of everyone's hard work so far. Because of you, we're one step closer to bringing the victim justice.
This was never about the dummy.
However, we should think of this case like an equation. Knowing how it works is only half the struggle. Now we need to figure out why.
As in, the motive?
You're on the right track.
And that's where it fails.
You speak like we have any information on the killer. The man's a stock image. He doesn't even have a name. What are we supposed to ascertain from that? That he's a non-character?
Not every answer will be written down for you. Sometimes actions speak louder than...
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Hold the phone!
Oh, she woke up.
Grace?
Whoa, what? Since when was Grace back to normal?
Right now, soybean. Watching you guys try to solve this mystery has been like watching a dumpster catch on fire. I guess all that smoke must have clouded your vision, 'cause there's a big-ass elephant in this room.
Is there?
An elephant in the room?
That's giving us too much credit.
So the killer incapacitated that girl. She had a gun, it makes total sense. Problem is, you've yet to explain how he used the bleach.
With a bucket.
I sort of assumed he spilled it on the victim.
No, wait. She's right.
Right. He just tipped the bottle over her.
Oh, no,
That bottle
never
is
mind.
where the bleach came from.
It's
sure.
still assuming that.
But I
Okay,
doubt
bottle.
the bottle itself was involved in the murder.
Dogs.
When we found it, it was neatly ordered on a shelf near the back of the closet. The gun and knife were just thrown on the floor. So it's weird this weapon was handled so differently.
Do you think the killer just poured the contents of that bottle into something else?
Sure, before the actual murder took place, I'd say.
And what is this something else? Go on, explain it before this dumpster turns molten.
She's really stubborn about this, but I get the point she's trying to make. Before we move on from the subject, we need to make sure that logical is completely sound. Its logic is completely sound. Alright then, let's put out this fire.
Well, if the original bottle's been emptied, where'd the bleach go?
Into another bottle?
No.
What about a container?
But I
There
still
were
want
a
to
bunch
agree
in
with.
the closet.
I bet the killer had a secret water gun. So when the victim came in, pow! He squirted her in the eyes.
What?
Hey, the ink vanishes when the battle's over.
Call the fire brigade, Grace.
To inflict those chemical burns, the killer had to use something. But what?
Well, if the original
Into another?
What about a
Container.
I got it.
Oh, don't scare me like that. I thought I missed.
She's correct. The killer put the chemicals in a bucket.
Are you in a bucket?
Or, more specifically, the same bucket we found at the crime scene. After all, it reeked of bleach. If the killer didn't use it to transport bleach, what else did they use it for? Personal cleaning? I doubt it.
Yo, that makes sense.
A broken clock is right twice a day.
Okay, cool. So, how'd the killer use that bucket to spill bleach in the victim's eyes?
It would be a fairly heavy bucket, so it's unlikely he threw it on her.
She'd shoot him before he even had the chance. Use your brain, mate.
Of course, my apologies.
It's a good question. How was the killer able to get a hefty bucket of chemicals into the victim's eyes? Especially without her knowing. There must be some kind of clue missing here. Think, Damon, think. God damn it.
Even if he did manage to splash her, the girl should have sustained intense facial burns. However, aside from her eyes, her face was relatively untouched.
Well, if you check the tablet, it said she had burns to the scalp, too.
Burns to the scalp? How does that work? Unless those chemicals came from above?
Above? Yes, that's right. Above.
Did the killer somehow suspend the bucket in the air? Maybe there was a mechanism that made it tip over when someone entered the room.
Scalador.
Where's this bucket supposed to be again?
Above. Which, well, could mean anything.
Was the killer hiding above the door frame?
There's no way they were up there. There's nothing for them to sit or hold on to. Not to mention, they couldn't have stabbed her from up there.
And if there's no place for the killer to sit, then there's no place for the bucket to sit.
Unless you take into account the size difference. The space above the entrance might not be able to support a person, but it could still support something as small as a bucket.
And that thing supporting the bucket?
The killer wanted two things: for the buckets to be about the victim and for it to spill on her when she entered the room. In other words, he needed to balance the bucket, but on what? What did the killer balance the bucket on? On the door.
I got it. I don't know how we overlooked this, but I've got it. The killer just balanced the bucket on the door.
Like in those water bucket pranks people film?
Yep, but with bleach.
Exactly. When the victim came into the room, she pushed open the door and caused the bucket to fall on her. This would make it so she couldn't shoot back or even get a chance to see her assailant. When the bucket hit the ground, it probably rolled away. That'd explain why we found it a couple feet from the victim.
That is a possibility, yes.
It sounds like the best conclusion.
There's just one problem. How was the killer able to reach that high?
And here we go.
Unless they were abnormally tall, it'd be difficult to place something on top of that door.
Well, let's use that as our next point of discussion. How did the killer set up this trap?
To balance that bucket on the door, the killer would need to reach pretty high. Was there anything on the crime scene where they could have used as a boost? If I can answer that, I'll add further credibility to my theory. Spot selection. It was the ladder.
This is it.
Because they made a whole...
There was a stepladder hiding behind the closet door. The killer
They're probably gonna
used that.
Go back to it.
After climbing it, they could position the bucket right on top of the door.
Figures.
What do you mean figures? What do you mean figures, Crop?
My precious stepladder? You think the bad guy used my super duper obvious stepladder?
She made a reference to Ace Attorney, where she pointed out, oh, look what I have behind me. And they were like, oh, is that a ladder? No, that's obviously a step ladder. You're supposed to be a lawyer, Wolfgang. You're supposed to know those things. Wolfgang's like, what do you mean by that?
Match point! Occam's razor!
Yes, it appears our killer didn't care much for subtlety. No matter how obvious it seems, it's the only answer that makes sense.
It was the only knickknack of its kind, too. If there's something else that killer could have used, it's escaping me.
I see. It makes sense with what we've got so far. But I'm not done yet. I still have one last question for you apes.
Alright.
Please just leave us alone. Oh, I'm so tired.
Then go lie on the floor and die already.
Hey, don't be like that. Grace may be loud, but her questions have really helped our discussion.
Anyway, what was the killer doing when that bucket poured onto the girl's head?
Probably hiding.
He obviously didn't just stand there and observe.
I have to agree. They must have been hiding somewhere, waiting for her to arrive. Somewhere nearby, I assume. Back to the picture. Where was the killer hiding? Outside the janitor's closet, on top of the door frame, behind the door, in the back of the janitor's closet. There's enough space there.
I got it.
It makes a curve.
I've got it. The killer was hiding in the back of the closet. If he was pressed up against the furthest shelf and facing the entrance, there'd be a diagonal path between him and his victim.
Okay, it doesn't make a curve. When we were exploring, it looked like it did make like... Do I have a mouse? I don't have a mouse. Do I have something I can draw with? No, I don't. Okay. But like where the killer is, it looked like there was an extra piece of the corridor or something. But I guess not. It's just a big room.
I say diagonal because that's the only way you can make a direct charge forward. Also, when the victim entered the room, she would have been standing with her back to the hallway, right outside the killer's range. That's why the stab wounds were only made to her chest.
Creating the crime scene we found! Great job, guys! We're actually doing this!
That was the last mystery, right? We must have put everything together now.
Even if it's all fake, I feel really bad for this victim.
It's an ugly sight, but she's no victim.
She had a gun.
Huh?
Well, technically she is, but let's be real. The girl was carrying a gun. She probably provoked the killer, and they killed her in self-defense. It's a clear-cut case of the hunter becoming the hunted, no?
That's no excuse.
What?
There's no justifying murder. Killing a woman is the worst thing a man could do.
Oh. I see.
You're emanating a sizable amount of emotional tension. Are you okay?
There's no excuse. There never was an excuse. 28 stab wounds! No girl, no person should ever suffer Kara's fate.
She's a righteous... Not she. He is a righteous little man, I see.
Wait, who's Kara?
It was the victim's name! Didn't anyone read the tablet?
Oh, he just takes it a little bit too serious. Which is fine. It is fine.
I agree with you, dude. But you don't have to shout out your point.
Oi, what's all this about? We figured out the case. Stop trying to drag it on.
No. We're not finished here.
What?
Huh?
There's no murder without a proper motive. We need to discuss why Kara died.
How the hell we discuss that?
I am not going this far for a fictional murder case. We aren't looking for a murderer, we're looking for answers, which we have.
Do you turn in a half-finished exam, Winona? An essay without its conclusion? This isn't about efficiency, this is about being right. Or do you, a supposed entrepreneur, not value integrity?
What the hell?
I get where he's coming from. We only have half the answer. But at the same time, we only have half the questions.
Let's just talk about the motive. There's no harm in doing that, right?
Well, what was the motive? Was the killer fighting for their life? Or were they going out of their way to murder?
Maybe the gun freaked him out.
Then why would he make a trap?
If I was in the killer's shoes, I'd definitely be nervous. Thing is, while acting out of self-defense is possible, since when does it look like this?
Given the severity, I'd liken it to a crime of passion.
Something done on impulse?
What if they were frightened? The spooky thing might have set them off big time.
I'm thinking at the same time that I go over the text. If I am to think of a motive.
That's wrong. There's no way this was done in self-defense. No matter what excuse the killer uses, it doesn't change the fact they have blood on their hands.
Yo, bud, you seem a little pressed.
Silence! I won't allow this!
Okay. Wow, things are getting emotional. While you've only been using logical arguments to further the trial so far, now might be a good time to change your approach. Introducing the pathos mechanic. During non-stop debates, the emotionally charged commentary of a classmates will appear as proper text. These comments are called pathos statements. You can observe these pathos statements by hovering over them with a radical and pressing E or left trigger. Left trigger? Sure. The pathos statements will then be loaded into the truth cylinder. Find a weak spot that is directly contradicted by the pathos statements and fire. If successful, you'll make a powerful emotional arguments to counteract your opponents. Stay on the lookout for pathos statements. Pathos? While you'll always be able to advance the trial using pure logic, emotional arguments can lead to some unique conversations.
To kill Kara so easily and without restraint. There is no way to justify this.
Take a chill pill, man.
You expect me to stay calm? This was the sadistic killing of one of humanity's brightest!
We shouldn't make a lot of assumptions about the killer's morals. This could have been self-defense.
You don't even know the damn killer. Just the crime scene they left behind.
This killer, dead or alive, deserves to be brought to justice!
But how can we do that? There's no reason to trust you if you have no proof.
Did I do it? I didn't
So
do it.
says the ultimate liar.
Absorb empathy. Didn't I do it? Oh, the time's going. Was his murder justified, or was it truly unforgivable? I feel like I have an obligation to find the truth.
To kill Kara so easily.
There is no way to take it. You expect me to stick with the we shouldn't make a lot about the killers. The proof and stuff. You don't even know that. Just the crime scene.
Killer deserves to be brought to justice!
But how can we do that? There's no
There we
reason
go.
to trust you if you have no proof.
So says the ultimate liar.
Okay, now where do I
To kill
shoot
Kara
this?
so easily and without restraint. There is no way to justify this.
Take a chill pill, man.
You expect me to stay calm? This was the sadistic killing of one of humanity's brightest!
That wasn't it.
I don't see how that relates to his point.
Well, it could. Made a mistake.
To kill Kara so
I still have
easily.
it, okay.
There is no way to take it. You expect me to stick with the
Killing a...
We shouldn't make a lot of assumptions about the killer's morals. This could have been self-defense.
No.
You don't even know the damn killer. Just the crime scene they left behind.
Killer, dead
God damn
or
it.
alive,
And I missed it.
deserves to be brought to justice!
How can we do that? There's no reason to trust you if you have no proof.
Oh, okay, okay. I see what.
So says the ultimate liar.
To kill Kara so easily.
There is no way to take it. You expect me to stick with the
Killing a...
We shouldn't make about the killer's could have been self-defense.
You don't even know the just the crime scene they left behind.
This killer, dead or alive, deserves to be brought to justice!
But how can we do that? There's no reason to trust you.
No, that's wrong!
Expertise shouldn't be overlooked here. If there's anyone to believe, it's the lawyer.
Say what?
Oh,
Wolfgang has spent his life in the courtroom and
can
on
I
the crime
remove the
scene.
auto? Hold on.
He'd understand the criminal mind in ways we can't possibly imagine. He was even emotionally
I can't
invested
remove
in
the
a
auto.
murder case he'd never seen before. If his lawyer's intuition tells us that the killer was in the wrong, then we have no reason to disagree. We're all ultimates for a reason. We need to trust in talent.
Well spoken. If Wolfgang is adamant about the killer's intentions, we should have faith in him.
Yeah, Wolfgang's clearly trying his best for us.
Let's trust in the lawyer and his bargain bin buddy!
Oh, shut up.
Hey! If it means going home, then new guys convinced me.
Right on! Team Wolfgang all the way!
Thank you all for your support.
Well, Eva, do you still disagree?
Even if I did, it's not worth pursuing.
Does this mean we're done here?
No.
Hey! We're Disembodied Voice! We've figured out your stupid case! Now let us leave!
He first.
Oh, you're finally done. In all honesty, I stopped paying attention a long time ago.
What? We only went through this case because of you.
Silly me, I have a short attention span. So, just for my own benefit, why don't you summarize the information you've learned? It'll be good practice.
Good practice. Alright. Yeah, good practice it is. Practice.
Fine. I'll do as you ask. I'll present the truth.
We'll present the truth together.
Shut up.
Let's dig into it.
You talk like Debbie Dog. It's time to bring this trial to an end. It's time for the closing arguments. During closing arguments, you must summarize the case from start to finish. Naturally, your medium will be a comic book. Since the class has a relatively good understanding of the case, some parts of the comic are already complete. But it seems your peers have glossed over some smaller details, judging by those gaps in the story. To fill these gaps, you have to be provided a collection of stock panels. You have been provided a collection. Okay. Use the WASD keys to navigate the stocks and press the spacebar to select a panel. Hover your mouse over the relevant gap and press the left key to insert a panel. If you wish to undo the selection, simply press the spacebar again. Don't forget the Q and E keys, those are how you flip between pages. By the way, gaps will reveal a hint if you hover over them. If whoever needs to revisit the information of the control panel is only one F3 key away. Now stand up straight and fix that tie, we got a case to close. And 3 minutes. Why is the victim scaring? Why did the killer hide? How do I... Oh, this way. Opening the door, to Janta's closet, going up the step ladder. Why was the victim scared? Oh. Why did the killer reach the door frame? Why did the killer pour into the bucket? How was the trap triggered? Oh. So this one. Do I have an Janta's closet? Oh. What did the victim do when they were stabbed? Opening the door. It's kind of confusing. I press space and then I press the little square thing. Why did the killer pour into the bucket? Do I have more? Oh, there we go. What did the victim do when they were stabbed? Why did the killer pour into the bucket? What was the victim carrying? An assault rifle. Pour into the bucket bleach. The last one, what did the victim do when they were stabbed?
I got it. The victim was Kara Koshkinen, the ultimate teacher's aide. Right before her death, she was wandering around the academy carrying a large assault rifle. That was probably when our unnamed killer, who was armed with a knife, spotted her.
And decided he'd put her to eternal rest. He slid inside that little janitor's closet, where he began hatching a deadly scheme.
Aye, they needed a way to surprise the victim, who was better armed. The killer grabbed a bottle of bleach from the closet and poured its contents into a bucket.
That's because they wanted to blind Kara by splashing the bleach in her eyes.
I like how everyone has a piece
Sneaky little
of the
bastard.
argument.
But to do that, they would need to set a trap and catch the victim by surprise. The killer moved a stepladder behind the closet door and climbed up it to reach the doorframe. There, they carefully placed the bucket.
That way, when the victim opened the door, the bucket would empty its contents all over her.
After completing
back
this
pedal.
setup, the killer retreated to the far end of the janitor's closet and waited for the victim's arrival. The killer could have made noise to attract the victim's attention. Either way, the victim tried to open the door.
And, the bleach splashed all over her. Her scalp, face, and eyes were severely burned.
Youch!
Ouch.
The killer leapt from his hiding place and began viciously attacking Kara. In his fit of rage and cruelty, he stabbed her from the front 28 times.
While being stabbed, the victim tried to fight back by clawing at the killer. This left the dried blood under her fingernails. However, it didn't deter the killer, and the victim eventually died.
At present, we don't have enough information to reveal the killer's true identity, but their actions haven't been forgotten. That is the truth behind this case. Well, are you satisfied?
A measly 3
Oh,
acts.
his space, okay.
Poor Horace would be beside himself.
Poor Horace. Who's Horace?
Who the hell is...
No one cares! We've done your end of the bargain. Now let us out already!
That is what I promised, isn't it? All right, I'll let you leave this room. But before I do, may I be frank with you all for a second? This entire time I've been hiding behind a speaker, afraid to show my face. My heart tells me you'll react cruelly to it. However, my head, it raises a compelling argument. Who cares what others think? Shouldn't I get to have a little fun once in a while? Yes. Let's do away with these silly boundaries already. It's time we meet face to face.
Are you a goat? You're like a goat, Monokuma.
What was that all about?
Everybody, look over there!
Sure.
Toss away those pickaxes, peasants. The walls have finally crumbled.
We don't have a monochrome. We have a goat. That's 50-50. I like that.
What will you do now that you've reached the other side? Will you treasure this new land? Serve it? Or will you set it ablaze? Well, peasants, have you made your choice?
Yes, fire.
Yo, what the fuck is going on?
This person, his voice.
Are you the speaker guy?
Speaker guy? No. You don't address your superiors like that.
Wait a minute. You have a great body. You're the guy from the comic.
Within the halls of this academy, you'll refer to me by one name, and one name only. His Highness, the great and powerful Tozu, host of the Killing Game!
What the hell is Tozu? Killing Game? The hell is a Tozu?
Well done.
Or you can call me Tozu for short.
Hey.
Hey, what do you mean Killing Game?
The show must go on.
Did you really think the story would end once we reach the climax of the case? Quite the contrary, this is only the beginning.
That's...
Of what?
Why the long face?
Isn't it obvious? You, my dear subordinates,
Blood is rushing!
are going to kill each other. That is not...
Come on.
That's not funny.
But then...
But you said we could go home if you solved the mystery.
Mm-hmm.
I gave you peasants an incentive. It's not my fault you took it the wrong way.
What?
What are you talking about? You lied to us.
Rubbish.
Lied? Oh no, absolutely not. I'm a fair man. A man sworn to the truth. And if I recall correctly, should you all agree to the right answer, you'll be free to leave this room. Oh, yes, I'm not skipping those. I specifically said you could leave this room, not go home.
You
sneaky son of a bitch.
Not okay!
You're full of shit, man. There you go, losing control of your voice. That's how you know you lost the argument. Logic is a cordial thing like that. It'll jump ship the moment it's confronted with a challenge. He didn't lie, did he? He said he never lies. So when he said this was Edensgarden Academy? Bullshit. What am I doing believing someone like him? There is no other way around it. He's lying.
Dude!
Hey, why did you tell us about your dumb game sooner? I'll watch your peasants run away.
Pathetic.
I can host a game without any contestants.
Please don't.
Please don't do this.
I just want to go home.
I want to be with my family. Please just let me go home.
There's no need to worry.
Miss Donna. Huh? We're all civilized here. No one's going to kill simply because they've been ordered to. What's this? The peasant has a rebuttal.
Let's see.
A match between unprepared and fit players. We could hardly call it a match. In much the same way this game we've proposed. A killing game between students who don't have the heart to kill.
Nonsense.
Do you seriously think we'll abandon our morals so quickly? Sorry about that.
Hey!
Yeah, that's totally right. We're like super boring people. We don't have what it takes to do something like this.
Indeed.
My heart is terribly soft. Softer than the most delicate pieces of mochi. When I see a fly in my room, I catch the body in a jar and return her to nature.
I would never!
My mochi heart would melt otherwise.
I see.
That's your argument, isn't it?
How interesting.
So, what has you so convinced? What do you mean? What makes you think the people in this room lack the heart to kill? Do you even know anything about them besides their names and ultimate talents?
Pathetic.
If you do, then tell me. Regarding killing, where do they stand? Are they okay with murder if it's for the greater good? Are they okay with murder if it guarantees their survival? Is where they currently stand on the issue as the same where they're willing to stand? Go on, you had a couple of hours to get to know everyone. That's plenty of time to learn their life stories, right? Should I take that as a no? Goodness, what a surprise.
Plot twist.
Not. You wouldn't be here all dressed up in that fancy suit if you were so naive. This guy... Monokuma was funny, this guy is just mean.
Such a spoil sport.
I don't know which one I prefer. And one more thing. That trial you just did, that was a preparation for the killing game.
Get out.
How? Idea was make us play detective.
Plot twist!
And for a good reason. If one of you is killed, the remaining students will participate in the true class trial. Your objective here is simple: uncover the culprits, if you can. Using evidence you've gathered during the investigation, you will argue who you believe committed the murder. The results will be decided by popular vote, and if you choose the right person, they alone will be executed, and the killing game will continue. However, if you choose the wrong person, the guilty party will be set free, and the rest of you will be executed instead. Those are the rules of the game. Everyone understand? All of us will be executed. It's not fair.
Isn't this lovely?
Really? I think it's one of our most beautiful rules. Everyone has an incentive to participate in the game, innocent or otherwise.
What's happening?
That's insane. You treat us like pigs to slaughter.
Such disrespect.
Nonsense. All of you have the chance to survive this game. Do you think the common butcher is so merciful?
Mm-hmm.
By the way, if no guilty party ever escapes, the killing game will end when there are only 2 students left. You may want to remember that, or maybe don't care. It depends on what kind of person you are. Out of the 16 people here, only 2 could be allowed to survive.
No shot.
2 people. That's hardly better than if someone gets away with murder.
Well done.
I know. That's what makes it so funny. Most of you will die, no matter what. And yet, with every passing trial, you'll all cling to life more desperately.
The show must go on.
And that exact mindset is what causes more murders to happen. Aren't these rules simply brilliant? A perfect test to the limits of human compassion.
I have an appetite.
I can't wait
for
to see all of you in action. Continue. Oh. The madman's loud, tinnitus inducing laughter was suddenly cut off by a well-timed strike from behind. Oh god.
I've said it a million times, you mangy fucking mutt! I want nothing to do with this stupid game!
Ow, 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 ow! Stop it!
Since you've made it clear you won't listen to reason, I'll just make sure you have no arms to kill with!
Do you even listen to when I talk? I'm not the one doing the killing. It's you lot who are...
Grace drove her fist directly into his stomach. She followed with another blow, and another. And when it looked like she wasn't going to be satisfied until he was dead, I saw it. From out of nowhere, a tiny red dot appeared on Grace's face. Oh yeah, there's a red dot.
Hey! Stop already! There's a...
But before we could do anything... The sound of a gunshot echoed in your ears. Oh, okay. So... Okay, but just a warning shot. Grace released the man from her grip. Speechless, she moved her hand to her cheek, which had been nicked by the stray bullet. Hello. We all looked in the direction where the shot came from. The shooter stood silently by the pillar, a trail of smoke rising from the mouth of the rifle. Her mask. The design was a panther instead of a goat. It was clear that she was working with him. You shot at her.
For real?
She's getting out of hand. Now there are two of them. Everyone slowly backed away from Tozu, suddenly fearful for their lives. What a shocking and unnecessary display of violence.
You think?
You think? I was talking about the gopher woman. Well, now that you've become acquainted with your enforcer Mara, if any of your kids try to jeopardize the killing game, such as by attacking me, she'll be there to put an end to your shenanigans.
Pardon me.
Even though she misses her shots. That was just a warning. I assure you, it'd be unwise to further test her sharpshooting ability.
In any case...
Regardless, if I finally have an answer to a previous question. Ma, you asked me if I knew anything about my friends besides their names and talents.
No matter.
Truthfully, I don't. But I continue to trust them as if I do, because they're ultimates. Huh? They are charged with the betterments of society. They have proven themselves to be above simple acts of self-interest.
We will not succumb!
Even if you trap us, fire guns at us, and force us to endure farcical courtroom procedures, English is hard. He's right. Grace was trying to compose herself, still clearly shocked by her run-in with death.
Don't test me.
No matter how weird these guys are, they're talented. They really think an ultimate will fall for this bullshit. That's right. My friends and I have too much to live for and too much to achieve. Reading too fast. We won't throw all that away for a killing game.
Don't get it mixed up.
We're going to escape. We'll have to. One by one, the students raised their voice in solidarity with Wolfgang. All of them were so confident in what they were saying, so willing to blindly put their faith in each other. And for some reason, it made me sick.
My.
Never underestimate the strength of human connection. I'm quite familiar with this idea.
Hi.
What kind of captain would be if I could even handle a small crew of 15? Why is this horrible feeling of contempt? Why do I feel this way when everyone else seems so hopeful? The voice inside me was answered by another.
No.
You got it all wrong. The students turned their attention towards Eva, surprised by her words. No? You actually believe no one here will try to kill? You're really naive. I don't know how you made it as a lawyer. Well, instead of resorting to random ad hominem attacks, why don't you explain your reasoning?
It's the truth.
It's obvious. Compared to normal people, ultimates are more prone to killing, not less. Living with constant praise from the public has ruined their sense of self. If you need examples, just look around the room.
What a joke.
Excuse me?
Look.
In the outside world, ultimates will do anything to further their own goals. The same is probably true here. Once you realize your dreams can only be achieved if you escape, you resort to murder.
Can't you see?
If you continue to convince all of these people to trust each other, they'll only be more vulnerable. Unless that was your plan all along. Is it possible you want to make everyone vulnerable? So that it'll be easy for you to kill them? That's
enough.
That's enough. Suddenly, Ingrid stepped in front of Wolfgang protectively. Wolf has done nothing wrong. He's given all of us a vote of confidence. It's something we all need.
Please?
So stop trying to turn us against each other, please. The horrible feeling grew stronger as the other students diminished Shiva. It grew stronger and stronger, and I knew I had to say something. He was right. Huh?
No!
Damon, not you too.
I know.
Look, I get it. You want to make the situation less scary for everyone. But he even made a good point. All of us have a clear motivation to leave this place, even at the cost of others' lives. Whether it is to see our families again, or for the sake of our talents.
Don't say that!
I will never kill anybody.
That's not it.
Diana, you yourself admitted you had too much to achieve. Don't you see how that's playing into the basketman's hands? This whole world ultimate thing is pretty inane anyways. After meeting all of you, it's clear none of us have the same goals.
Hold on.
What are you insinuating? Don't we all carry the same obligation to improve the world we live in? This question angered me more than anything that has been said before. I can no longer suppress my true feelings.
That's wrong.
Look, the title barely means shit nowadays, right? Most ultimates are just dullards obsessing over some pointless hobby. Their talents don't contribute anything of worth. The only thing they're capable of is leeching off public attention for their own goals. Ouch. It's the ultimate influencer. God damn it.
You've got to be kidding me.
Running a business that feeds millions is pointless.
No.
Some of you are an exception, obviously. But come on, there is no way the rest of you can improve the world we live in with your niche fixations.
That was very...
Don't you mean the rest of us? You're an ultimate too. Yeah, what the hell makes you so special? I could feel the words warming their way into my soul. What makes you so special? Well, I can actually achieve many things with my talents. I can argue policy, consider ethics and morality.
Yeah.
Better yet, I was the one who got you guys through the trial.
Really?
Is that really what happens? I remember all of us happened out.
Shrimp?
You always see what's going on. You think you're better than us just cause you got to say words nobody understands. But all that kind of stuff is relative. Like, tell me what a dragster is, do you know? Watch your step, lest you trip and fall from the unparalleled heights of your vanity.
Not good enough.
I'm disappointed in you. How are you so concerned about making yourself look good when you're in the middle of a death game?
The hell?
Wait, I wasn't trying to. There's no use. They turned against me, hurling obscenities, scowling, and simply shaking their heads.
Isn't this lovely?
Ooh, do I sense anger? Hatred? An unquenchable sense of bloodthirst. Well, save that for later. I'm the only person who can spill blood in the courtroom.
Mm-hmm.
The elevator will take you back to the killing game arena. We've cleaned up the crime scene and prepared a dorm room for each of you.
Get lost.
Thanks, now can you get lost?
Good evening.
Okay. He returned to his podium with a masked woman trailing closely behind. The bizarre mechanism that brought him into the room lowered the two of them into the grounds and out of sight.
Hey.
Still, we're not going to kill anyone, right guys? No matter what happens, we're all going to make it out of here okay. It was only when the madman had left her that reality truly began to set in. I'm trapped in a killing game with people who despise me. How did this happen? I just wanted to help. Wanted to make sure we didn't trust each other so easily. And now I'm being treated like the bad guy. But these people practice what they preach? But they really refuse to kill. I can't trust anyone here. For better or for worse, it's me versus them. So cue the beginning of the end. The beginning of an unfathomable nightmare, an unrelenting despair. The beginning of the killing game. Team playing on a cello. Whoa. And I believe that was the prologue. That was the prologue. To be continued. I need to sneeze. I'm not gonna sneeze because I say that, but still. Yep, not sneezing. That was the prologue. This game is gonna be good. Of course, I have no idea when they are going to release this. I'm not exactly the big follower of news and stuff. I just play whenever it comes out. So don't come asking me if I'm like, oh, when are we gonna play the next part? Well, when it comes out. As soon as it comes out, no. I'm maybe doing something else. But it's gonna be soon. I'm going to be playing it. I'm gonna be live streaming it, as usual. As usual. Am I still in the corner? I'm still in the corner. Alright, let me lift myself. Ah! Okay. So I have... Do I have suggestions? No, I don't. I'd much rather not give suggestions. I have some fun things that could happen. Some details in the scenario that I've noticed. Some details in the people's attire that I also noticed. Like, there is paintings of, like... I don't know, imagine some famous paintings of random people in history. Like, posing or just painting or whatever. And they're all wearing animal masks. And every character has a little pin, has a little element of an animal in the clothing. It would be cool is after the game goes on. The paintings get replaced by the killed ones. It would be cool. What else? Not a lot else, actually. The only thing I can say now is, well, wait for either the full release or the next chapter. Not really sure when this is going to be coming out. I do hope, well, by then I'm gonna have a better computer. But I do hope if I don't have, they do a little bit of tweaking on the engine that they're using. Because for the sake of checking performance and stuff, during the game, like during the class trial, during the majority of the game, resources being used by the game, or my CPU at least, were around 40%. And whenever, like for example, during some parts of the credits and some parts on the whole comic thing, where the comic was being told, and the performance would increase like to 70-80%. Like there is a quite a big dip in performance depending on the cutscene that is being played. But aside from that, no. I have nothing else to say except wait for the game to come out. The stream lasted for 1 hour and 41 minutes, so I'm gonna finish the stream here. I don't have anything else to play today. I'll close the game. Okay, so regarding schedule, usually... Is it Tuesday or Thursday? God damn it. Tuesday. Usually Tuesday I do a afternoon stream. Like I try to play something different on the afternoon. Well, tomorrow that is not going to happen. I have something scheduled for the afternoon. I have no idea how long it's gonna take for. It may not take too long, but still, I'd much rather have my my time free and then promise something that's not gonna happen. So there's a high chance of no stream tomorrow. If I do happen to make something, that I make something really quick. I don't know. It's just to occupy my time. But after that, I don't know. I need to find something to play. I still need to finish Five Nights at Froggy's 2. So I can continue with the third one. And then the fourth and the fifth and the sixth. I still have some other games to start and play. I did have something, hold on. I noticed people like the activity in my channel. People have been paying attention to Zardy's Maze. Is the second game out yet? Oh, there was an update. But no, I want to see if that is the second game, Zardy's Maze 2. I'm gonna have to open the popper again. Zardy's Maze 2. Ba-ba-da-dum. Ba-ba-da-dum. Ba-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba-ba. Ba-ba-da-dum. 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 It's taking a while, huh? Okay, I just searched on Steam. Oh, no, never mind. Here we go. That is Maze 2 on Steam. Is it out? Coming soon. Okay. This game is not yet available on Steam. Okay, still under development. I don't have to worry about anything. Is that a release date? No, there isn't. Okay, it's just an unusual activity on a 1-year-old video of Zardy. I don't really know why. Zezenia. When did I play Zezenia? Is Zezenia even still up? Whoa. Okay, I'm rambling. Let me close this. Yeah, that's the end of the stream. Sorry for rambling. Good night. Yeah, good night.